And today we are joined by Mike Johnston, who has claimed victory as Denver's newest mayor. He is here live with us. Thank you. It was a late night last night. So
it was. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Denver mayor is arguably one of the most powerful positions in the state. What are the feelings headed to office now?
I realize I have the second hardest job after you all, who are up this early every morning, and so a lot to learn. But no, I'm really excited about what's possible. I think people have a real sense of optimism and hope about what the city can be. We know we can get a city back that's going to be vibrant, and it's going to be affordable, and that's going to be safe. And I am really excited to get to work, actually. You
know, I want to talk to you about the plans for homelessness. That's been
Yes.
such a big issue throughout the entire campaign. You have ambitious promises to end homelessness in a couple of years in Denver. What should people expect to be your first steps when you're in office?
I think the reason why I'm optimistic about this is we know what actually works right now in homelessness, and we have to do that and scale that. And the thing that I'll be focused on is how we get people off the streets and access to housing, and housing that we can build safely and quickly and affordably. And so for me, that looks like these micro communities where you take vacant lots around the city and you put 40 or 50 tiny homes on those sites, and we move people from where they're currently camping into these safer, more dignified housing structures. And so what we'll be looking for immediately is to look for the sites where we can do that, talk to neighbors, engage them in those conversations, and begin to get folks up and into housing where they can get off the streets and back on their feet.
Do you think it's realistic to end homelessness, which no one has been able to do?
Yeah, what we talk about as ending kind of chronic, unsheltered homelessness is that would mean, you know, there will still be people who fall on hard times, but if we could have a situation where in Denver 4 years from now, every month, if 50 people fall into homelessness, in that same month, 50 people come out. We have a pipeline that catches them, gets them to services, and gets them back on their feet. That's the real pipeline. It's not that we can stop people from having hardship, but we can have a real system of support that gets them to services.
You know, not everyone is aligned with you. Throughout the campaign, you have been described as a centrist candidate. We also saw a pretty big appetite for progressive policies. I know some people were out last night supporting you as well. How do you appeal to those values, and how do you reach those communities that are not always aligned with you?
Yeah, I think for me what was inspiring was realizing that there was a broad coalition of people who shared these values, people who came on board when we got to the runoff, including what they, I think, want is the same thing. They really do want to make sure we get a safer city. They really do want to make sure people that work in this city and serve this city can afford to live in this city. That means teachers and nurses and firefighters, as well as folks that are really struggling getting off the streets. And they want a compassionate but responsible solution on homelessness. I think that's what we all share as a conviction, and I'm quite inspired by the fact that we have a really broad diaspora of people who all share that commitment, and our job is to now put them on the same page and get them to work.
A lot of work ahead. All right. Well, congratulations, and thank you for coming in today.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right.